Hey, storytelling, Ron here. Okay, so I have the Kickstarter. I've only got 6 backers and 930, so it's pretty good going to the goal of 1,000. But I'm like, there's a problem. I was like, why have I only got 6 backers? And so down here, for some reason, not this one. I just redid this one, but for some reason, maybe I'm being cursed and attacked. All of my lower priced rewards are all gone, and I don't know why that is. I've tried to look through all the settings to figure out what I did wrong. But for some reason, I don't know what happened. It's 0 backers and they're all gone. How is that possible? I just, a little frustrating. So I contacted support, but I'm waiting for them. And so what I'm going to do is, I don't know if I'm going to cancel this and start it over or just fix it. And I put a new one in, and it worked. No, did it work? Oh, I just can't. Oh, okay. I can't back it myself. Yeah, but no one else can back it. These ones that are all gone. So I'm like, what the heck? Anyway, there's the Kickstarter. If you want to try to do the $15 pledge, or on Monday I'll try to get it back up and running normally with the new redo the rewards. I don't know. It's Sunday now. I'm just chilling. I just kind of want to chill. And why I'm doing this video, I don't know, but I'm kind of just a little excited, so I just want to do this video about engineering and upgrades. And this is a toot my own horn here. I'm just gonna go a little egotistical here. I just love the 4-Little RPG game mechanics and role playing. I love it. I'm a 45-year veteran. I've played all the games, all the RPGs. I got all the books or whatever. But I just love the system, and I'm not trying to say I'm a genius or anything. I don't know. I figured, amalgam of all the other RPGs and just trying to figure out what the problems are with them and how to solve it. And I think I've come up with a solution. And it's been a blast. And it's only like 20 pages of rules, and the rules can go for anything. So it's my die rank system here, using die ranks. If you have, when you add up die ranks, you get to roll the dice here and get it, it turns into a dice pool. Keep the highest. You just go up from D4 to D6 to D10. If you have 9 ranks in something, your skill plus your tools, your magic items, whatever, your gear, and you get 9 ranks added up together, and you get a D12 divided by 5. So 1 5 is D12 and 4 is the remainder, which is a D10, because that's these are the remainders: D4, D6, D8, D10, and every five ranks is a D12. It's very simple. So that's how you decide what to roll for whatever it is you're doing. And obviously for combat, it goes pretty quick because you're gonna, it's gonna be pretty low. Generally the die ranks you have in skill and advantages and stuff. Anyway, so for crafting and engineering, I've decided to put a little simple version in here and then the more advanced one. But it's all on one page. This covers everything from magic items to upgrading gear to fixing and repairing. You can kind of use this as well, it's kind of similar. A surgery, wounds, kind of like all that stuff. All this stuff kind of basically the same mechanics. So let's just go with the simple real quick. Intellect is what you use for crafting, engineering, surgery. And it's based on your skills, what skills you go into. Now 10 so this is for engineering, obviously. 10 is for plumbing, and 20 engineering, like I want to fix the plumbing or add plumbing to the ship or the house or whatever, or to the church, and maybe that'll give it a bonus. If it's got plumbing, people are gonna come in and, hey, come to church. So it's so a 10, and that's all I need. But 22 plus is for robotics and programming. Add more if more stuff. If the plumbing wants to be really advanced, whatever. Decide on, and then so as the GM, you decide on what supplies are needed to make it, and you use common sense. And I've broken down the resources into these. I guess not in the Dark Ages fantasy one. You kind of have to decide on that for yourself. But for the Apocalypse and Christmas in Space, it's all about scrap, low tech, high tech, rations, medical and/or tech spice. Scrap is scrap. Low tech is like nuts and bolts and wires and cables and that kind of thing. High tech is like molecular electronics, computer parts, chips, stuff like that. Rations is in essence, it could be stuff to use in the engineering, or medical, like like ingredients, or it could be like you're eating and drinking a lot because of the time it takes to make your lunch and stuff is costly, or you have to do more because of the time it takes to make it. So it's kind of like you can kind of decide one or the other or both. Medical, obviously, it's going to be for medical stuff, or high tech medical stuff. And tech spice is the kind of the fun little sort of sci-fi thing, the spice, like in Dune, or even in Star Wars. But to me, tech spice represents those rare minerals in a powder form that they collect, and it could be drugs. It could be like they also are part of the drug culture, part of the it's a whole black market culture, whatever. So tech spice kind of covers all that, like super expensive, always in a little vials, suspended in some sort of liquid, or if it's a chest full of it, that's like a planet rich, worth of wealth. But tech spice is used for those really super upgrades, the rare, high tech type of technological engineering stuff that they want to do. And it's tech spice is hard to get, and once you get it, it's hard to keep, kind of thing. And especially if people hear about it. The die rank, each die rank upgrade is one test roll. So whenever you upgrade something, it's one roll. You don't get to like, oh, I want to go to die rank 5. No, you got to go die rank 1 first, then die rank 2, then die rank 3, and each of them requires the supply, the roll, the supplies, everything. And you don't get to go to die rank 2 if you roll really high, which it says in here. The die rank number reflects hours and supply amount. So how do I determine the die rank number? Well, let's say you're doing your laser gun. You want to make it a 3 die ranks. It's already at 2 die ranks. You want to make it 3 die ranks. So three die ranks. It also equates to a D8. So for bonuses to shoot. It could be to hit 2. Let's just say adding to the shoot. The real adding scopes and targeting systems and whatever. Each die rank upgrade is one test roll. So for going from D2 2 die ranks to 3 die ranks, the DR dice number reflects hours and supply amount. So hours, 8 hours, supply amount 8. So I would do, let's see, 8. That's pretty good though. 3 die ranks. I would do 1 tech spice, 2 or 3 high tech, 2 or 3 low tech, and 1 ration. Just for eating or whatever. So something like that. And they have to have all that. And the roll is going to be, since I'm trying to keep it simple, the roll is going to be, I'm going to make it the 20 or 22. 22, they got to roll to succeed. And that's it. That's that. And then they got to roll it. And, if they fail, they just basically lose all the supplies and the time. And a really bad failure like Nat 1 destroys the item. Now, if they rolled like a 2 total, literally a 2, I'd be like, okay, well, just to be nice, I wouldn't destroy the item, but not only do you do all that, you're so frustrated you can't do it again for a while. Darn it, I was going to do it again. Yeah, but you're going to get a penalty then if you do, because you rolled so bad, kind of like that. But so what do they do then to make this item? Well, they've got to have some sort of weapon, energy weapon, right? Laser weapon. So energy weapon skill or energy weapon upgrade skill. I get pretty specific on that stuff. Like, they can't just have a weapon skill. They can't just have a weapon repair skill. They can't just have an energy weapon repair skill. No, it's got to be an energy weapon upgrade skill. And the players make fun of me for it's got to be a Toyota energy weapon upgrade. They make fun of me for being so specific about that. And the reason I do that is because I think that in real life, a plumber can go around fixing plumbing stuff, but ask them to design the actual components for the plumbing, they're not going to be as good at that. They might have basic knowledge in it, which anyone, which I'm fine with rolling, but they're not going to get a bonus because they go around fixing plumbing systems. I got a 10 die rank plumbing maintenance thing. Okay, but that doesn't mean you're going to go around designing stuff, for plumbing. You're not going to have that acumen, and if you did, it means you would start. In real life, if a plumber been doing it for 30 years, has been plumbing. He wants to design some plumbing units. He's going to have to do some research on that, right? He can't just sit there and just do it. I know he's got the life of it all, but he's still going to have to go in and research like CAD, you know what I mean? Like all that kind of stuff to actually implement his design. Patents, he's going to have to actually study all that stuff to actually do it. So he's going to have to start putting in, skill ranks into that. So that's the way I do that. So I hope you understand that. Research, very same thing. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. You can, especially if you haven't studied the crafting engineering and you want to move along pretty quickly, 10 is for known stuff, 20, 22 is for rare stuff. And and they can add all kinds of bonuses to it. If they got a lab, they got scanners, they got whatever, and they're doing research. They got the specific skill for that specific data. And if data is unknown, it's encrypted, and you don't know what it is, and you're trying to research and break it, just decrypting data skill, decoding skill, whatever programming skill, hacking skill, that whatever they can come up with. I do, as much as I like specific skills, I do allow a little bit of wiggle room, especially when I don't even know what the heck they need. And you're always going to have a bonus based on the trait, right? Your intellect trait for this stuff. So you're always going to have at least that. You can have blessing, inspired die. You can get blessings from the clergy to, oh Lord, let's help you concentrate and get good research. And I do a die rank result generally for this, right? Oh, the die rank, the DR dice numbers reflect hours and supplies needed. So I kind of decide like what is in there, what if they find it like a treasure item, like what it's revealing, and I kind of just pick what it's going to be, the number. And they're going to use up supplies to research it. Now, if it's just something encrypted in the like a data card or data piece, I mean, I might just say it's a 22 difficulty, right? So, the DR dice numbers reflects hours and supplies if needed. If there is a die ranks, there will be some die ranks in them. So I just depending on what the item is. Some may not. I guess for an encrypted data, you're not really going to have die ranks in it. But I would still pick some number in, personally, I mean, as a GM, that they would need in hours and possible supplies. What are the supplies then if you're just trying to decode? Probably just rations, just because you're spending time. It might be a high tech because you need, I need to put this new component in the programming. High tech can be like a new programming piece. I need to put some new programming in there to decode this. It could be that kind of a thing as well. So the die rank and features help determine the test number. Yeah. And then basically it's a die rank result. Well, it could be a die rank result, and I'll explain it in a second, or it could just be fail, succeed, fail. So if you succeed, you tell them what it is. It's, this is a map to a lost mine on, some planet. Or it could be a die rank result. So if they roll a 22 and all they needed was if they need a 20, let's say, or a 22, and they roll a 26, they need a 22, but they roll a 26, so that's 4 above that. So half of 4 is 2, so they get 2 die ranks. What does that mean? That means that they get 2 die ranks that of info about that subject. Whatever. Let's say it was poisonous plants on this planet. Poisonous plants on this. Oh wow, that's what's here. So you now have a 2 die rank knowledge about the poisonous plants on this planet. You can do that kind of thing. And I always try to make it specific to an area. So it's a info on the trading systems here in this star system. So in this star system, you now get 2 die ranks for trading in this star system. Oh yeah, not in that star system, just in this one, because it gives you all the little ins and outs of the data info in that place. 2 die ranks imperial codes for this system. You get the 2 die ranks to try to use the codes in this data to get around and escape or bypass imperial inspectors. Something like that. See, so you can. There's so many different things you can do with this system that I'm showing you that it's like cool. And you don't have to look up tables. It's just a matter of you just coming up with numbers based on the die ranks of the thing. So let me go into a little more details, a little more advanced type of way of doing it. You basically here you look at the die rank of the item, and that tells you the difficulty number. If a laser weapon is a D8 or D6, and they want to go to a D8, so 8 plus, and 12 is the normal number, the default. So 12 is the default, plus 8 is 20. So that's the difficulty for them to get from a D6 to a D8. 2 die ranks to a 3 die rank laser weapon. But what if that laser weapon actually it was a D12 damage weapon, right? D12 let's just say D12. There's a D12 and a D4. Like it could have a dice pool because it's that much more advanced. But let's just say D12. All right, D12, D12, D4, just to be mean here. A D12, D4 damage is interesting. You roll a D12 and a D4 and you pick the highest. So it's a little more damage, potential for damage, or a little more potential for not doing a 1 or 2, right? You can do a 3, 4, it just kind of helps increase it a little bit. So this is a very advanced laser weapon. So they want to upgrade this from a D6 to a D8 on the to aim. Now, remember, this does not, a lot of characters will have skill ranks that increase the to hit and the damage. So you need to differentiate that, because they may already have skills in increasing the damage of the weapon and increasing the to hit of the weapon. That's separate. So make sure you separate those out when you do the engineering, so that they but in the end, when they use it, they're going to combine them. But so let's just say the weapon itself is a D2 die ranks for to hit, so it's a D6, and then the damage is a D12, D4, so it's a little extra damage. So you're going to be mean to them and say, well, there's a 6 there, there's a 12, and there's a 4 because of the dice pool thing. So I'm going to add up all those, so that's already 12 and 6 and 4 is 10, plus the 12 is 22, plus 12 is 34. So for them to, and then 2 more, 36. So they need a 36 to make that weapon even better. Now you're like, what? That's crazy. But they don't need a weapon that's a D3 and a D12, D4. That's a super advanced weapon. I mean, that's a BFG kind of weapon. I mean, that's it's like a sniper rifle more than a huge blast weapon. But it's a 34. They got to get a 34. Now you're like telling me, that's impossible to get 34. You can get it, but you have to have a think about this too. You'd have to have a pretty advanced laboratory, get some blessings, get a good night's sleep, get some really good gear and weapons. You can even get high tech that is like +1 die rank each. So every high tech you put in would add another die rank if it was a advanced high tech. You could get low tech that has a plus die rank each. And I would tell you, well, you need for this, man, it's a 34. There's a 12, an 8, and a 4 in those factors, right? The D8 they want to get it to a D8 for the aim, and then the D12 and the D4 for the damage. So I'm going to say that's a lot of materials you need. You need I don't know if I'm going to do the full 8, 10, and 22. So I can have up to 22 supplies they need. That's 22 hours. So that's to me like 3 days worth of work. So I'm going to do a lot of rations in there. Some tech spice, maybe at least 2 tech spice. I'll do rations as the main thing. 2 tech spice, 6 high tech, all these little components they need to get in there, all these little microscopic components, 4 low tech, some scrap, added up to about 22, and then a bunch of rations. Rations is like just get some water, get some meals, comforts and stuff like that. So, candy bars, 20, that kind of thing. You know how those scientists are? They need those energy bars or candy bars, coffee. Okay, so that's what that rations kind of refers to. So that. Now, how do they get the 34? It's really hard. 36, right? The numbers are getting super high. They got to get all these die ranks, and they got to get the dice to explode. So you're going to have to get like, let's say they get 30 die ranks worth of bonuses. Their skill, all this other stuff. Maybe somebody helps them, and someone has a super high-tech aid skill, and they can do a die rank result on their own to help them, and that can add to I'm getting advanced here, add to it. So what is 30? Let's say a weird number, 33. 33 divided by 5 is 6 die ranks and a 3. 6 die ranks and a 3, which is a D8. So there's a good chance the dice are going to explode, because you need 2 7s to explode the dice, and then you'll get that 34. Okay, so 33 is a lot of die ranks. And what's cool is they're all trying to figure out how to get this laboratory set up perfectly so that they can make this. And 33 is, I don't know if anyone's ever gotten 33 die ranks. They've gotten in the 20s, like 18, 20, somewhere around there. And what's funny is they failed too. There have been failures, but there's been successes too. So that's the fun thing about it. And if they fail, for the most part, it's just going to be they just use up all the supplies, and the thing just is not. We did the tests, and the accuracy is still not more than it was. After you did all that stuff, those adjustments. So it's cool. I love it, and that's how you do it. You just kind of look at the item and look at all of its die ranks. Take the maximum number from the die ranks. The dice part of it. Like if it's 4 die ranks, that's a D10. So you take the 10 and add that to the difficulty. And every die rank that's in there for different components of it, is the whole of the item. So that's why it makes it more difficult, because you're got to fine tune the whole thing. And that's the same with, say, holy relics in the Dark Ages. Same concept. Sharpening, making a sword. Swords are hard, man. They're not. You got to be skilled at it. Even though it's low tech, it's you're not using high tech. You're not using tech spice. You're just using. Well, and of course, I don't use low tech and all that in there, but you just have to get the materials however you want. But it's, and I would, part of the cost is knowing that too. So you can use this rule for all of them. In the Dark Ages, they don't use this a lot. It's not about this. It's not about engineering or upgrading. But in the Apocalypse one and the Crystal Space, it's about this. Now in the Dark Ages, it is about getting relics, but it's definitely a little more narrative though in that sense, because it's most relics back then are narrative based. I mean, that's exactly what they are. This was by the priest, blah, blah, and he was such a wonderful martyr. This is his ring or bracelet or cross or book of Psalms. You may carry this now, and it may encourage you. So that becomes a relic that gives them more faith or encourages them and gives them a little bonus in the game for Dark Ages. But for this, obviously, for the Apocalypse and Christians in Space setting, it's fun. We've had a lot of great little nerdy sessions where the inventor, the engineers will upgrade things. And if you look at let me go down to the robots and the ships. Everything is upgradable. So let me go down to the ship stats here. So you got this fighter ship here. It's a piloting plus 3 die ranks. They want to, you can upgrade that. The armor save is a D12. Oh, they could upgrade the armor on this thing. The hull is 2. Maybe they want to go to a 3, but remember they have to do it for every part though. So there's 4 parts on this ship. So if they do want to do an armor save, they only get 1 part they can do it on. I'm gonna add, and make the crew safer or whatever it is. So everything they can even see, the light laser here is a D10 damage, auto 3, armor piercing 2. Okay, so like they can make, I want to make this an auto 4. Okay, you want to do that? All right. There's a 10 there and an AP 2. So I'm gonna say 12 is the default. 10 makes it a 22. And I'm just going to add these numbers. So 24 with the AP2, 24, and then they want to go to a 4 on auto. So 4 more is 26. I'm going to do it that way. 26. That's your difficulty. If you beat a 26, you turn this to auto 4. And 26 also reflects the hours it takes to do it, and parts. Whatever I use, high tech, maybe a tech spice, because they got to get that chain gun light laser, or the whatever it is, the faster high tech spice upgrade. So you can do that for any part of the ship and have fun like that, and just come up with a number based on the numbers you see for each thing. And if they fail, they can try it again. If they roll a net 1, they blow it up. So that's engineering. I just love it, man. What's lame is that I now have these cool hardbound books. What's lame about this is that I know the rules so much, I don't have to. The only table I look up is nat 1 fumbles. Everything else is conceptual based on the die rank thing, and I don't really need to look at anything. I don't need to look at any little table on what's difficult, the difficulty ratings for something. It's die ranks. This, add this, and this, and this, and then there's your difficulty number. It's nice and easy. So this is on my Amazon, the Space Crystals in Space, which is what I'm showing you here. And again, like these robots, all the things in here are upgradable. They can, upgrade them, make their robot better. I'm against them having robots because I don't like to play robots. I mean, I don't like to play allies, like NPC allies. I hate doing that because I feel like I'm playing myself, me there, and then me over here. I hate that. I just want them to play. I want them to be the goodies and me be the baddies, or whatever. Those types. But yeah, upgrading, man. Engineering. The game has got it covered in like 20 pages of rules. And a very simple system, and I'm using this for the Lord RPG game system for all the games I'm putting out, all the settings, and it's very, it's cool. You can use the same rules in all the different settings that I'll be doing. Okay, very simple system. Don't have to you don't have to worry about looking up things. There's no 10 level cap. There's no unwieldiness when you get to 4th or 5th or 7th level. The game does not change. The GM, as the GM, I don't have to throw like a demigod in there when they're all 7th or 8th level. These same robots can be dangerous even against them after they played 40 sessions. These low level robots are still dangerous to them, based on the cool game system I have here. Yeah, so a wonderful, wonderful game with cool engineering. Okay, I just want to get that across to you. Let me go back to my full page. So remember, I'm still doing the Kickstarter. I'm still hoping to get that all fixed as far as the rewards go. But yeah, for Lord RPG, man, it's a really good, really great game system. Really simple, 20-page rules about, and I recommend if you wanted to start off and you wanted to do sci-fi-ish, I'd recommend the Apocalypse one because it's more micro-focused on wastelands. Crystal Space is more, sprawling planetary spaceships, and the APOC one has introduction to like the vehicle combat. I mean, same rules, but you just don't have to worry about, you can start with crude, cheap jeeps and trucks and vehicles, and then to get the game system in your head before you want to say go off into space. Anyway, all right, in the game of life, we gotta put our faith out there. We gotta put it out there. And we are RPGers, so we need to create a game like this and a few other games out there with evangelism, church planting, evangelism especially. If you want to put stuff out there, this is the game. Or steal my idea, take evangelism, church planting as a Christian in other games, fine. But I have one here for you, and it's really great for fellowship and creating your own ministry. Having a group who love playing a role-playing game, and then taking that to conventions or church or game night or whatever, and use it as a invite other. Once you get figured out and get it established and enjoy it, and if this is your thing, start inviting non-believers or taking it to conventions where Christians are not necessarily welcomed. But anyway, we need to do that. We need to go out into the culture with our Christianity, and because I'm in the RPG culture, that's where I'm planting my flag. Since they're planting their colorful flags, might as well plant our flag. All right, in the game of life, roll holy dice.